This is 7 National News, and in our top story. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, received the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Abu Dhabi during his visit to the UAE. Sheikh Mohammed welcomed the Indian Prime Minister and held talks about ways to enhance bilateral ties of friendship and cooperation, and exchanged views on a variety of regional and international issues of mutual interest. The talks also tackled avenues of joint cooperation that serve mutual strategic interests and focused on areas of progress, bilateral cooperation, as well as means to further expand them. Furthermore, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed highly valued the contributions of the resident Indian community, as he was quoted as saying that the Indian community has made significant contributions in the process of building the country and development that the UAE is witnessing. It is a natural extension of age-old bonds between the Indian subcontinent and the Arabian Gulf. It was further added that the Indian Premier's visit to the UAE has significant importance in the light of the leadership's keenness to push forward bilateral cooperation to new horizons that people from both countries aspire for. Additionally, as part of his UAE visit, the Indian Prime Minister also toured the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, which he described as a beacon of tolerance and coexistence. Modi was received by His Highness Sheikh Nahyan bin Mubarak Al Nahyan, the UAE Minister of Culture, Youth and Community Development, and His Excellency Dr. Anwar bin Muhammad Gargash, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, who accompanied him during the tour. While continuing his tour, Narendra Modi also met Indian workers based in the ICAD residential city in Abu Dhabi, where he was received by Sakhar Ghabbash, the UAE Minister of Labour, along with other officials. The Indian Prime Minister interacted with the workers and thanked them for their hard work and dedication. As part of a multi-activity project funded by the UAE to improve the overall water, sanitation and hygiene conditions for Syrian refugees in the Zaatari refugee camp in Jordan, the Ministry of International Cooperation and Development and UNHCR announced that work is in progress to establish a full-scale wastewater and drainage with a system in the camp. The project, to be completed by the end of the year, is the first of its kind in the camp and aims at establishing an appropriate drainage system with a dedicated water tank for the diversion of excess water in order to prevent overflooding, as well as to be utilized in agricultural activities. According to officials, the installation of the water system in the camp will have a substantial impact on curbing the spread of diseases and raising general health standards. The first phase of this project will provide sewage collection for each refugee household in Zaatari camp, with phase 2 to include a network of piping that will convey sewage from communal tanks to the wastewater treatment plant. This initiative is part of a total contribution of 18 million dirhams made by the UAE government to UNHCR, made in early 2014 to relieve the suffering of Syrian refugees in Zaatari and Azraq camps in Jordan. Of the 18 million dirhams, 7 million dirhams was allocated to health activities, while the remaining amount was distributed to water and sanitation activities. His Excellency Dr. Anwar Muhammad Gargash, the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs and State Minister for F&C Affairs, has announced that a total of 102 nominations for this year's Federal National Council elections have been received at the registration centres across the country. With the expansion of the Electoral College for this year's election scheduled to be held on the 3rd of October, more women applicants are expected to register. As per the figures announced, 14 women had registered on the first day of nominations. Of the 24 applicants in Abu Dhabi, 2 were women, while in Dubai, 6 of the 15 candidates were women. It has been announced that there were 22 registrations in Sharjah, including 3 women, 14 in Ras Al Khaimah, including 1 woman, 13 in Fujairah, 6 in Ajman, including 1 woman, and 8 in Al Quwain, which also included 1 woman. Potential candidates can register at the centres based in their emirate until the 20th of August, while the final list of candidates will be released on the 31st of August. Nearly 224,000 Emiratis are eligible to vote or stand as candidates, compared with nearly 135,000 at the last election in 2011. The UAE has the highest number of English medium international schools and institutions in the world where English is the language of instruction. That's according to the latest figures released by a UK-based consultancy. A UK-based international school consultancy was quoted in a newspaper report as saying that in countries where English is not the official language, the UAE has 511 English medium schools, China has 480 schools, Pakistan has 439 schools, India with 411 and Saudi Arabia has 245 schools. It was also mentioned in the report that the two most attractive industries in the UAE for investors are education and healthcare. Stating that English medium schools are a necessity in the UAE, some educational experts suggested that it would be a setback for expatriate families if there were not enough private schools to accommodate their kids. The school enrollment figures recently released in the Abu Dhabi Education Council's annual report predict a 7% annual growth in school population, with a demand for 283,798 places in 2021, while the Knowledge and Human Development Authority in Dubai expected the enrollment growth to be about 8% per year. Concerned about the presence of more English medium schools, language experts feel that this will have an effect on Arabic language skills as more Emiratis choose to enroll their children in English-speaking schools. The Roads and Transport Authority (RTA) in Dubai is all set to offer bike rental service along the line of the Dubai Tram. Revealing that this scheme will be undertaken over 2 phases, the RTA officials were quoted as saying that the first phase covers stations of Dubai Media City, the Palm Jumeirah, Knowledge Village and As-Safur, and the second covers JLT and Dubai Marina stations, as well as the extension of As-Safur Street, separating the Marina and the JBR. It was stated that the initiative is intended to encourage people to add bicycles as part of their mobility options within the dedicated cycling tracks. The Director of Traffic at RTA's Traffic and Roads Agency, Hussein Al-Banna, was quoted as saying that bike rental service will complement RTA's efforts in linking the existing cycling lanes along Jumeirah Street with the Marina, as well as the extension of the JBR walk. He added that all traffic safety requirements and technical procedures of using bikes will be well attended. It was also mentioned that the offering of bike rental service is aimed to facilitate the integration of the operations systems, as cycling lanes will be extended along the tramway in order to integrate them with the tram service later. And finally, in the Bulletin, UAE fans will soon be gripped with a football fever as the Arabian Gulf League is all set to begin this week. With the football season just days away, Al-Ahli Dubai Football Club officially unveiled their new kit along with their fans at the Dubai Mall. Priced at 379 dirhams, the new red and black kit with the Skydive Dubai branding will be a familiar sight across all sports retail stores, as one of Dubai's oldest and most popular football team is all geared up for the season ahead. Fans got a chance to be up close with their favourite stars, as the team's midfielders Majid Hassan, Ismail Al-Hamadi and Everton Ribeiro interacted with the fans during the Q&As and autograph signing sessions. Speaking during the event, Majid Hassan added that the most important aspect is performing well for the team, and a comfortable kit does contribute towards a good on-field display. Meanwhile, the Brazilian star Ribeiro, who also joined the club in January this year, is confident about performing well in the Middle East this season, as the Red Knights will look forward to winning the Arabian Gulf League after finishing mid-table last season. After their training camp in Italy, the players added that the team is in good shape as they go head-to-head against Fujairah on Wednesday. According to the team manager, their primary focus is winning the quarter-finals of the Asian Champions League against Neft Tehran next week, as they're now the only UAE team remaining in the last stages of the competition.
We also have a lot of new additions as well to the team. So we're looking forward to the new season, and we're looking forward to also making all the fans happy, and inshallah, God willing, we'll do very good this season.
I expect to have more games before the Champions League game, but we have only one official game that will help us. And I hope that we'll arrive in the good shape in the Naftahiran game, was the most important on the beginning of the season. We're looking always for the next step, and now we are concentrate for Fujairah. Of course, being an Ahli, you have to look to win everything, and even it's difficult sometimes, we have to look for this. And the most important now, we'll concentrate for Fujairah, and the next step will be Naft with not only Al Ahli, it's all Emirates.